Hi, my name's Natalie and welcome back to my channel Sew Stitch Sew Nat. You can find me on Instagram as sew_stitch sew. I'll put it up here. Yeah, so it's been about 2 months since my last Flosstube. Lots of stitching going on in between and just lots of life really. I have my notes today, so if you see me looking down, 2 sides. So yes, I have been busy. So yeah, the last video was the 19th of May. Apologies for not being around. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen some of the things that I've been working on, finishing. I don't know that I've put all of them on there. Definitely not the ones I've been working on. Maybe the finishes though. So I would like to welcome any returning subscribers and welcome any new subscribers. Hello and thank you for subscribing. Also, if you like what you see, like and subscribe and ring the bell because I'm not regular. I'd like to do it every 2 weeks, but I think every month might be more of a reality, although we're about to head into the 6 weeks school holidays here in the UK, so it's unlikely that it will be mid to late August that I record. It's probably more likely going to be September once the kids are back at school and everything's settled down. I have got some Flosstube shout outs to do. Charlotte, the high heel stitcher, shouted me out on her last video and also made the comment when I record. Thank you, Charlotte. Love the shoes, by the way, and the white shoe top from Sainsbury's, yeah, I've got that. I should have thought about it and put it on, but I didn't today. And she does a variety of stitching, some full coverage. Really nice channel, check her out. Also an accountant, but not the same type of accountant as me. Talking dog stitcher Racheal, she's relatively new, and we're all 3 of us are under the 100 subs clubs, I think. And she's got a variety of projects as well. Fairly new to stitching, I think. But she's got a great channel. Check hers out. She's just done a whip parade recently. That was the other thing. Last year I did a mid-year whip parade at the end of June. I'm not planning on doing one this year just due to time. But I will do the end of year one definitely, which ties into the Flosstubers. So between Christmas and New Year it will be my 2nd year. Yes, 2nd year. And I think I spent about the same amount of time on Instagram as well, so there's not much difference between the two. And then I just want to shout out Mad Morti and the Brom. Well done for getting to 1,000 subscribers. I've been around since the early days and do enjoy the channel very much. And still have not started to stitch Binky. Is it Binky and Death? No, you did Binky and Death. I think I've got Death Ride. No, you did Death Riding Motorcycle. I'm doing Binky and Death. So that was a bit of a ramble. It's all kitted up, ready to go once I finish the other half stocking, which I still have not done because, yeah, when you don't want to work on a project, it's hard to force yourself to do it. But the plan is, I think definitely this weekend, as part of Jolly July, I want to try and get a bit more progress on it. I really want it finished because I want a new start. I'm trying to restrict the amount of whips I've got on the go. I've managed to get down to 30 whips, although that might drop to 29 when you get towards the end of the video. You'll see why. Thinking about doing a UFO. Stitch from Stash. Yeah, not going so well. Bit better this month than last month, but the months before that, not so good. So yeah, I'm in the red, so to speak. So yeah, it's going to take me a bit of special energy to get me out of that. Hence trying to work on the whips. I've already got them, not to start something new as well. Right, I don't know how far into the video we are, and I haven't shown you any stitching yet. So I have 6 FFOs and none of them here to show you, so I'm going to have to rely on some photos. So the first one I did was for a work colleague, and this is by Happinesst on Etsy, and it's a baby sampler. Here's the FFO. Obviously I've covered up the name and the date because I've not got permission, and this is all wrapped ready to go next week to get gifted. It was done in all the core 4 colours, but on a 32 count Snow Belfast by Zweigart. Yeah, really easy stitch. Really loved it. Obviously you had to do your personalisation of the lettering at the bottom. That was fine. I didn't opt to put all the options, so they've got date, time, length and weight. I just did the date and the weight. So yeah, so it made it sort of more portrait, but obviously it's square frame that I've used, in square frame on the original. They also do that in a pink and a yellow. I can't remember if there's any other colours. They've got lots of different styles of birth sampler. They've got some wedding samplers as well and things, so do recommend it. It went into Pattern Keeper, so there's no problems there. So yeah, I'll link the Etsy shop below. Next one is the bookmarks. So I put a picture on Instagram of all 5 of them, and they're all FFO, so I'll put a picture in here and just try and talk about them. So there was Tulips and Sunflowers and the Buzz Off I'm Reading were all done on 20 count. I think it's like an off-white, maybe cream Ada with the core 4 colours. Just because if I'd done them on 14 count, they were going to be a bit too big. And then the Here Fishy was just done on a 14 count white in the core 4. Tailored from the pattern accidentally, but in the spirit of the pattern. You see the original pattern, you'll know what I mean. And then Books and Coffee was also done on a 14 count Ada. And they were all mounted onto card folded over, stuck together with a ribbon sticking out, just with Handmade with Love. You'll see that at the end in the whole section. And gifted to the teachers and teaching assistants for the school. So yeah, end of an era. Although my youngest is still there, but the oldest is now finished. So yeah, sorry, it's last day today. Didn't mention the date. It's Friday the 22nd, I want to say, of July, 2023. Sometimes I watch the old videos back and I'm like, what year are we in? Sometimes you can tell because of the comments that are made, and the times you're like, oh, I'm not sure what year we're in. Yep, so my first, well, my only big finish, so the biggest finish that I did was Mary Needleworker. Just grab the board. And this is the one I posted on Instagram about the week's dye lot issue that I had. But luckily, I think Lakeside were on it, or either that or they accidentally shipped an extra skein. But I managed to get the right colour to match the other side, so I didn't have to rip it out. I haven't got the pattern anymore. It's all boxed up, ready to go to you, Danielle. I'll try and get it in the post today. So you might even have it by the time this is edited, I'm not sure. So this is my finish. It's on a think it's on a 32 count platinum, I decided, by Zweigart, but I've not got a can't say the word, selvage, to confirm that. But most of my fabric is, generally speaking, Zweigart, unless it's Fabric Flair. So yeah, so the week's issue I had was that not matching up. I just put a photo up. So these were the 3. I think the one in the middle is the one I used on the right side. And then there's 2 arrived as one batch, and then another one, but all 3 of them were in the same package. So yeah, it was interesting. So yeah, so if you're stitching this and you want to use the week style lots, order a lot of this, definitely 2 of the Pelican Grey I think it was, and 2 of these, depending on how heavy you want the satin stitches to be and what count you're doing it on. So this is a mixture of weeks and DMC. I just need to decide what I'm going to do with it now. I absolutely love it. I have purchased Susie's sampler maker as well, but I haven't really got any plans currently to stitch it. But that's a digital pattern as well, which is available on Stephanie's website, Lindy Stitches. Also, when I posted on Instagram, she actually commented on my post, which is just, yeah, amazing. Completely fangirl moment. So yeah, so that's the finish. Try not to edit too much today, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit. So the next one, I'll do sampler book later. So I don't think I showed you this as a whip. It's like a magazine kit. So while the kids have been swimming and I've been sat waiting around at the edge of the pool because they're in different time slots, unfortunately. I've been stitching up an owl bookmark, which is, if I can find it, so it's this one from CrossStitcher Magazine, and it came with like a plastic canvas, which I didn't like, so I decided not to use that, and just use some 14 count white Aida. So that's his finished. So I use all the threads, no pattern adaptation. I don't know what I've done with the felt because it's not here, but I'll find a way to back it. So yeah, another bookmark. I think my son wanted to claim it. That's my youngest son. He wants to claim everything I stitch at the minute, I think. Bless him. Oh, it's here. Right. Next, we'll do the Jingle Bell Wreath. So this is part of Jolly July. I started it in March Madness. It got 1 day, so it barely had anything done on it. And this is a Mill Hill kit. So that's a Jingle Bell Wreath. I've not FFO'd it yet. And this is my finish. It is slightly tailored. I didn't use the reds in the right place. So my reds are darker than they should be, but the two of the reds look almost identical. So I didn't feel too bad about that. I won't be turning it into a magnet though. I'll probably just turn it into an ornament. But, oh no, it's not ringing. No, you can't really. It doesn't really jingle, but but you get the idea. Lots of beads. I absolutely love the Mill Hill beads, so they'll be going into my stash because you always have a load left over, even after you've. So my threads are everywhere. show you how much we've got left. And then obviously I use the beading needles as well if I've got needles on other projects. Excuse the pieces of paper in there. You can't even see all the, but some of them are tiny and other ones are bigger. So yeah, that's how many beads I've got left over. I'm not decided if I'm going to do like a beaded string hanger, which I've done before. Possibly. I really like those greens. Those ones. It might clash a little bit. We shall see. You'll see it eventually. Hopefully before Christmas. And then our bookmark, because I couldn't put it down, even though it was Jolly July. So I started this for my birthday. It got to 25%. I picked it up in June because I just fancied stitching on it. Got it to like 80%, something like that. Sorry, Flosstube itchy nose. And then that was it. I wanted to finish it. So this is Faby Reilly, who's a French designer. I think it's available on Etsy and her, I assume it's her website. So the original design, was just on a plain natural 32 count fabric. I opted to do the Petit Point 32 count. It's got petite treasure braid, mill hill beads, sequins that are the wrong size. They're meant to be 5mm, not 3mm. I didn't realise it was too late. I think it looks okay, so I'm not going to change it. I found the petite treasure braid much easier to work with than the DMC metallic. Can't think in relation to Diamante because I've only used that once, I think, on a project last year. It's 28 count they use, so I think this is a 32 though. So I think the beads they're doing okay in there. I think if they were closer together they might be a bit bunched up though, especially the pearly ones. Don't know if you can see that. And the owl's eyes also glow in the dark. So if you haven't seen my Instagram picture of the eyes glowing, it's not the greatest picture. I'll put it in here. And I was actually using this hoop to stitch it in as well. So I just got these flexi wooden hoops. I think it's an LB's. It's got EHB on it in the rim. So yeah, I'm just going to finish that into the hoop, sort out the back properly. Job done. Really love it though, absolutely love it. And the fact the eyes glow in the dark, I feel like, oh no, not glow in the dark thread. But actually I didn't mind it too much. I think when you're in the mindset of you know what it's going to look like in the end, and it was the last thing other than doing all the back stitching and beading that I did, so it's kind of not mindless, but it was just filling at that point, which makes it I think a little bit easier going on the I don't want to do white. Yeah, more on white stitching later. So I bought the bead packs for that. I've still got quite a bit left. Yeah, I think I've still got a fair bit of, sorry for the dangly bits, fair bit of petite treasure braid, but this is also used on my chatelaine, so if I run out I've got some more. And yeah, massive packet of sequins off eBay, but decided that the Trimmitch ones were way too big. They wouldn't sit nicely on the project, so I just opted for the small ones. Right, then it's on to my sampler book, which is kind of like, it's a finish come whip all at the same time. So this is the Erica Michaels, book. So that's what it looked like at the end. So this is how it was to look like. I've chosen to do this on a 32 count Belfast light blue linen. You can see I've left the guidelines in. I've also chosen my own DMC conversion for this. So the idea is you make them into pages of the book, and each page has got the speciality stitch on it. I think I was part way through G last time you saw me. I hadn't quite finished it, and obviously I've done H since. I have not started I. This is what I currently looks like. So yeah, I'm not sure I'll get it done in July. I think it might have to catch up in August. But yeah, trying to do one a month at the minute. So I finish, I think it's like March, April next year. And I've got to do the cover as well, so it might be slightly later than that. And part of me, I think stitching on the black, I think once I've done all the pages it'll really push me on to make me stitch on that black fabric, but I'm not looking forward to it, unfortunately. And then I've just got to FFO it, which is going to put all my sewing skills to the test as well, I think. I absolutely love the project. The minute I saw it on Instagram I wanted to do it, and it wasn't available at that point. And then she released the wallet that's got the cover pictures and all the words and all the threads and that at Nashville. Not this year, the year before. But the individual pages without the words across the bottom actually a freebie, and I can't remember where it came from. But the link is in the pack that you can buy. That is that one. I think maybe when I come to do the whip parade at the end of the year I might show all the pages that I've done up till then, but not regular Flosstube, I'll just show the ones I've been working on. So next, whips. I need a drink though. Coffee's at lukewarm phase. So I was keeping up, relatively speaking, with this sale, which is a mystery sewing room sale by Little Dove Designs. I am currently, I've done month 4, month 5 is out. I've got a picture up here, but I haven't done it yet, so the plan is to catch up with that. Probably August. I can't see this doing it in July, but that's where I'm up to. Absolutely love it. So in the next part there is a lot of white stitching. I'm doing a lot of white stitching, you will see in the other projects. So it's not quite calling to me at the minute. It does call to me a little bit, but I'm enjoying Jolly July, so I'm going to continue with that. So that is where I'm up to. That is on Core 4 fabric, thread, DMC, on a 32 count Murano taupe, and I think it just offsets it brilliantly. There's only one thread that comes quite close, which is in the book up here. It looks, there's a bit more contrast on camera, and there's a bit of contrast in real life, but it could have maybe done with a bit more, but it's barely used, so I'm fine with it, and it looks fine. I don't think it's a 6-parter, so yeah, I've got lots of fabric left over. But that's also the fabric I used for the Crochetto Go-Go something sale that I did with Sewmesarah. La Finestra del Tempo sale. Which I absolutely loved. I would definitely stitch them as a Crochetto Go-Go. I keep looking at them on Etsy going, I like that, I like that, I like, no. There's a Halloween one. I don't know why. I'm not a big Halloween person, but I keep getting drawn to stitching Halloween. It's not bizarre, but it's just unusual. I did pick up this, which is the Chronicles of Narnia sale, which is by the Stitching Book Club, otherwise known as Sapphire Hand Mountain Crafts. This is only available in limited quantities. I was lucky enough to get it, so it's no longer available, unfortunately. And it all came as PDF, so I can't share it either. But I did a bit more work on that. I have got it in Pattern Keeper, but obviously it doesn't show the back stitching. And I started using my wallet that I bought from Canny Little Fox. So I've not used one of those before. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. So it's alright when it's a project like this. There's only a few colours as well. So yeah, we need to get on with that because I think I've had it 2 years. It's not moving very far. But not as long as the stocking. There's definitely a few things that have been hanging around a lot longer. And also, after I finished doing that sewing project, I picked up, I haven't got a cover photo, I'll pop a cover photo on. This is another Lindy Stitches, and it's part of the saltwater scrapbook that she did with the blue flower. Oops. But this is where I'm up to, and you'll notice it's white thread. There's going to be a common theme, so that's where I'm up to. The aim, I think my aim is to try and do all the other little bits now, maybe, and then just go for it with the white, and then there's a tiny bit of back stitching. So we've got another seagull here, one here, and I just need to finish off this one. This one's a little bit contorted. There's an extra row in it. I haven't decided whether I'm going to pull it out to stitch it like this one or not, so we'll see, we'll see. It's only a little bit of stitching, isn't it? But yeah, I feel like writing the words mine underneath, if you get that reference from Finding Nemo. Or mum is the other one. Well, I don't get that as much these days, but at one point it was, yeah, that or mine. And I want to make that into a little cushion. And that is stitched on a 30, I think it's another bit of that 32 count Belfast linen. It looks quite even to be linen, but I think that's what it is. I did, I can't remember when I picked this up, this must have been a May one. I picked up Embroidery for Kids Art, which is a Pokemon song. I don't know if this is still available or not. If it is, I'll put it below. And this just goes into Pattern Keeper as well. This one's got 3 colours, that's it. They've all got very limited colours, but you're basically stitching the words. And I chose to do this on a, I think it's an 18 count blockade, so it's really crumpled. So be the, and that's very, it's not quite finished yet. So I've got to fill in the rest of the E, rest of the R, and then the Y somewhere, and a bit more up here as well. So yeah, so it's this one first. I had to listen to the song to try and get what order they were done in, to want to do them in order. So the idea is that they're all going to get framed in the same size frame. So I've got all the fabric, I've got all the threads, it's just working my way through them, but I'm not making nowhere near enough progress. But I think I've got a Pokemon for life, so at whatever stage it comes, you'll be fine with it. Fine scissors, that's not good. It's alright, they're over there under the camera stand. The next one I picked up was another one I started from March Madness this year, or March Mayhem. It's Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal, obviously a quote. And that's from So Easy Pattern. Like I say, if that's available, I'll link it below. I chose this on a 25 count even weave with the Call for DMC 1/1. I'm trying to get a bit more familiar with 1/1, and I feel like it's going a little bit easier on this because it's not full coverage. So that's where that looks like. So yeah, making progress. I keep thinking, oh, there's not that much to do, and then look at the pattern and go, actually there's still quite a bit to do. I want to make that into potentially a cushion, which is why I've done it 1/1 on 25 count. So yeah, there's only 3 or 4 threads in this, barely anything. I think I did choose B5200 instead of Blanc though, because that's I think it's ivory cream, it's either that or platinum fabric. Next Christmas project I got out was my Christmas list, the Silver Creek samplers. It doesn't say it's called My Christmas List on the front, it does on the back. I'm doing this on a 36 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart, 1/2 with the Call for DMC. I think the last time you saw it, oh yeah, I just needed to finish the house next to the flying. I just need to finish this up here, and then I've done everything below. Says he's Santa coming in here. I do really like it, and I really need to do something with the edges because they're fraying quite badly. Yeah, I need to drag out the sewing machine and just hem it. I feel like I'm almost halfway on this. I'm definitely halfway down the second page, and it's not quite 4 full pages. It is a lot of colour changes, but I love the finished effect. So yeah, it does call to me, and that's the one thing I was looking forward to about Jolly July, was working on this one. The other one that was calling to me, I thought, I've not got that much to go on here. Did have a lot to go on here. And I've been watching Joanita on Stitchy Things. I think I'm up to about 3 months behind. but hearing Sarah mention her so much, I thought I'll go and check her out because I've not watched her. But yeah, lovely channel, lovely lady, big Star Wars fan. Yeah, I can't let my boys watch the Lego minifigs, they'll want it. So this is too big to put the board behind. So this is Christmas Gingerbread Village by Little Fox Stitching. I understand this is no longer available, so apologies. And it's stitched on the Call 4 DMC, but on a 25 count even weave. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking it was going to be much smaller, I think. But I am at 40% now. I think when I pulled it out I was at 25. So I'd already gone around all the border. So last time this came out was the Whip Parade at the end of the year, last year. So I've gone to the end on the top row, put the tree in, put Santa in, and then did some more work on the second row. But like I say, more white stitching, just on a different colour fabric. I think it seems to be my ammo at the minute. So yeah, I've still got a bit more work to do on the border, lots of bits of filling to do. So I'm trying to get the main framework in and then come back and do bits. So yeah, like I say, lots of white stitching, although it's lots of white stitching, but it doesn't take a lot of brain power, as in as long as you've got your, like I've got the outline of the person and I've got the house in and things like that, as long as those bits are in the right place, you're fine. And there's like I've still got just nearly 5,000 stitches of white to go, so, and then there's some that have got like 30 stitches in like a deep red, so I want to try and yeah, do a lot of white and then do a little bit of colour, do a lot of white and do a little bit of colour. So yeah, that's at 40% now. I can't see it being a finish this year. We'll see. And then last night I picked up the Frost Pumpkin Stitchery Christmas wreath. I did not start this when it was a sale. I bought it afterwards. In the Call 4 DMC. I'm not sure if this is a dodgy colour printout, but I think it's just about there. That's what it looked like when it's done. And I took inspiration from, I'm trying to remember this channel name. Oh, she lives in Hawaii. No, not Hawaii, Bahamas. She's from America though. Cocohamas, yeah. Cocohamas Stitchery. Oh, she's not recorded for quite some time. She occasionally see her on Instagram. But she did hers in a very deep red. Oops. Not sure if that's quite in the right place. So all I've managed to do on this is some white windows. Like I said, a lot of white stitching at the minute, but yeah. So this is on a 32 count. It's an even weave. I think it's called, I want to say burgundy, I can't quite remember the colourway. So I haven't got this in pattern keeper. I've just got the pages stuck together as a printer. And I haven't written down on here what it is, I don't think. Oh, hang on, is that it? Oh, it is a burgundy. 32 count Murano, even weave by Zygarde. I think it'll really pop when it's done. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do the bow in the red or not yet still. So I'm going to leave the bow maybe towards the end and then decide. Decent. What have I just done with my notes? It's a good question. Right, sorry about that. I've since located the said list about 10 projects ago. So the other whip that I almost forgot and then realised when I turned around, I pulled out my chatelaine. Yeah, it was a Friday when I wasn't feeling great and didn't want to record a floss tube, and I thought, I know what, I'm going to have some proper stitchy time and sit down and do my chatelaine. So I did a bit more work on it. This is on a 32 count Country Vintage Mocha. Majority with the call for threads. There was some I couldn't get. So yeah, I've done some of the petite treasure braid. So I've done the diamond stitches along here. I think I added some beads. I did some more work along here. Put some pearl cotton in. If I get a bit closer, you can have a little look. I think I ended up looking on Instagram and Facebook for some pictures for the centre. I was trying to work out what that was done in, which is petite treasure braid, PB's 03 I think it was. And then this thread is not the call for. Unfortunately it goes to the same turquoise as this colour. But I'm fine with it. I love turquoise, so it's fine. So that is that. Definitely a couple of personalisations within there, but it's all symmetrical, so I'm fine with it. So yeah, chatelaine Wednesday doesn't happen for me because I'm out doing other stuff, and when I get my chatelaine out, it's proper quality me time, no kids, no distractions, just me and the stitching. So it doesn't get a lot of love, unfortunately, unless I've got a day off, or it's my birthday, or I've just taken a Friday out just to chill out rather than do jobs around the house. So yeah, really love it. And I think part of, because they're not cheap to kit up, and definitely I would either go to Zarina or European cross stitch next time rather than kit it up myself, definitely. Even if there are some substitutions for some of the threads, I trust their knowledge is good enough to know that, you know, how it's going to look on the finished project. And I obviously didn't choose a hand dye for my first chatelaine either. I just chose a basic Zygarde, but even that itself was a metre by a metre. You know, I needed a full big length. Don't get me wrong, I've got plenty to go out in my stash, and I have done a few things on it. One of which is on the tote bag, which is the Puntini, which I have here actually. Oops. Which is that one. So I do use it. But yeah, like I say, comes out for, pardon me, sorry. Comes out for special occasions. The one I wanted to talk about, which is why I'm thinking about dropping another whip, is Holly, which was a Christmas gift this year, last year. Can't remember. I'm just not feeling it at all. I love that red. But I have been struck by a little bit of inspiration. I chose not to do it on the 14 count white aids that came with it. I chose to do it on flying cloth. 18 count white Ada, and that is how far I've got, which is barely anything, because I like the thicker coverage. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, that tree you can barely see in the background, it's really nice. Do I want it to look like that? No. So the colourway that I've thought of restarting on is Sage by Zweigart, like a soft green. Depends what it looks like when I do. I've not bought it, it's just sat in my Amazon cart. I've not bought it yet, because I think it'll show up the white of the tree and the pale colours on that, and show her up as well more than what the white Ada will, and I think it'll look more delicate. I mean, I know she's not like Mirabilia or Bella Finipina. Sorry, the name's gone. Oh, Nora Corbett. I mean, I could add some beads if I wanted to or something, but yeah. So I don't know on that. So if you've got any suggestions, let me know. I'm not averse to hand dyes. Yeah. I don't think I've got anything in my stash that is suitable. I did have a look. The only green I've got is like a spring apple green, which is too bright, I think. I want like a softer green, I think. So that's a potential UFO, which will take me down to 29 whips. I've now included the whip that I was doing for Love Quilts, because that's not getting any progress at all, which is the Unicorn Sow, which finished in January. And I've not quite finished part 1. I think it's literally just backstitching he's doing on part 1. The member of the family that gave up sewing, or cross-stitching, I said I'd finish a piece for her, which is the dog that I restarted. I really don't like the chart, and I'm not sure what I can do. I've tried a few different things, but it's a printed chart. It's on very shiny paper, so it doesn't photograph or scan easily. So yeah, we shall see. So I've got 2 new starts on which are part of the 29 really. So I started the Be Quiet Please as part of the Sal Queen stitch along for the June quarter, and the names are escaping me. I want to say Emma and yeah, she's an accountant too. I can't remember, not Emma. I'll put them on screen. And I chose to do this on a 32 count Belfast Snow. Got a thing about it obviously. And this is with a words. Oh, the name's gone. Hand Diary in the UK. When she was still on Etsy, I think she's got her own website now. And this was just a random skein that I've got from Stash. Don't know the colourway, but it goes from quite a blue colour to a purple to a pink. There's not so much purple in it though. I'm hoping I've got enough to stitch it all. If not, I'll have to substitute in some solid. But I think if I try and do the big motifs in this and then some of the smaller ones, it doesn't matter if it's a solid colour because you won't notice. It has got a slight personalisation because I put the started in the wrong place, so everything's one stitch down. It's fine, it works. And then the other thing I took, which was on a scout camp trip, more about that in life, was the Caterpillar cross stitch kit that I used to get in the monthly boxes, no, quarterly boxes, or was it bi-monthly? The club boxes anyway, called Shine Bright. Here's a picture because I've not got it with me. And here is my start. I literally spent an hour, maybe 2, if that, on this. And so literally all I've got is a copy of the chart, the fabric, the needle, a pair of scissors and the floss. And that's what I took camping. So if it got lost, it wasn't a major issue. I could always re-kit it. Or if it got damaged. So yeah. And funnily enough, I did see somebody else stitching at the scout camp. I was literally sat at camp looking after the kitchen. Sorry, that was it. What else was there to do besides play on looking at your phone, or just sitting there reading a book, or just enjoying the peace and quiet for an hour? I got some cross stitching out instead. I know I'm saying a lot, I always say a lot. And there we go again. So that's all the whips, I think. So plans, more the Jolly July stuff. Before the next video, I want to catch up with the Mystery Sewing Room and the sampler book. I'd like to get the scrapbook Seagull finished. I really want to finish the stocking, but I know when I get it out I'm going to hate it with a passion and want to put it back down again. It's got confetti stitches, beading, metallic backstitch. Beading, fine. Metallic backstitch with that thread, yeah. But I've already done some of the stitching in it, so I potentially I could swap it out. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, that's part of the plans. I've got haul next, and then life at the end. So if you don't want to watch haul, you can skip across to the end to life. If not, you don't want to watch either, that is fine. I will see you next time, probably September. I don't think it will be, it definitely won't be July. I don't think it'll be August either. So yeah, September. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. And if you're here for the haul, that's where we're going. I've actually not been too bad this month, or 2 months actually. I don't think, I've not really gone really over, which is what I did a few months ago when I kitted up a project that was a SAL that I didn't start on time, and that I've still not started, and we're in section 5, which is another Faby Reilly, which is the Narinda SAL. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to stitch it. But like I say, the amount of projects I think at the minute, I'm wanting to do Jolly July, I've not started it. So I have 2 lots of Thread Club, 2 lots of Fabric Club, the last Cottage Garden sampler threads, oops, and a couple of other bits. So I think with the Fabric Club I've come to the decision that yes, I do want to stop. So I need to drop that email across. I've enjoyed being part of it, and I built up quite a stash. I don't know which way around these were. So I get a 32 and a 36 count. in this club. I think, yes, this is the July one, which is Peony. Oops. And they are showing, this is a lot brighter. This is the 32 and that's the 36. There is normally some available afterwards. Sorry, it's gone really dark because the clouds have come over. But it's a lovely pink. Pinky purple. Yeah. I'm not very good with choosing colours. I sometimes go to have, these look okay. Like, And then June is Cool Marble. Oh, that's getting really washed out. There's a lot more. I want to say it's more like an apple green and grey, but it's definitely not showing up the way it should. And that's worse. Or maybe a bit more up here. No, it's still quite washed out. But yeah, there are some fabrics I'm just not sure where or how I'm going to use them, and that's one of them. But I don't think it's a contender for Holly though. I think I want a plain one, or at least not such sharp colours on it. So the last one of this club, she did start a new club up, but I decided not to join. I've built up enough stash already. It's Cottage Garden Sampler Threads, and this is from Poppy Patch in the UK. Link will be down below as normal. They've got a new website. They do stock other threads as well. I think they've got a limited supply of Cosmo. I can't remember what else they've got. But yeah, they've got those. I did sign up for Hearts for Pam, but I know they're running late. So when I get that through, I'll put it in my next video. I signed up for the PDF charts, not the full 100% thing. I bought a Lizzie Kate off eBay. I remember I'll put the link below, because this is not Jeff P. Smith, this is I want to say it's like Pringleaholic or something, but a lovely little Lizzie Kate. And I like the sentiment of this, especially at the minute, because my kids are getting that little bit older, and I like it for memories of my mum as well. So that is that. And then I've got, so this is June. Oops. I'm definitely getting towards the end of the Classic Colourworks Club as well. I think I'm on tea in July. In fact, have we had July? I know they were running late, so I'll check the envelope on the other one. It could be May rather than July. What am I reading? Sorry, I was reading one of the oops. So that's what I've got this on this one. So root beer, roasted chestnut, rod and reel, ruby slipper, which is gorgeous red, ripple. It's got quite a lot of variegation in it. River rocks, which is a little bit more solid. Ripe melon. I don't think of that as ripe melon. Rose petal. and Rosy Glow, which is like a very soft baby pink to peach. Oops, dropping them. I think one of the things I need to do is stop being afraid to convert some of the things to my own colours. So I'm not afraid, it's probably a bad choice of words, but that is July, the next one. But yeah, like if the Ordinary Mary, if it was Needleworker, if it was a solid colour, going to my stash and choosing something I like for it. Yeah, so we are, I think these are all S's, I don't think we've got any T's yet. Now we've got Snowball, which is exactly as it says on the tin. Snips and Snails, which is like a pale green, pale blue. Sea Shelly. Cocktail Shrimp. It's a fantastic colour. It's definitely flamingo colour. Secondhand Rose. Smoke, which is not the colour I thought of Smoke, and the husband said the same thing. It's like a bluey, lavendy, deep colour. Shamrock, which is like a deep turquoise. Spinach, very green. Secret Garden, and Shabby Sheep, which is definitely like the ecru white beige colours. Don't know how well that's showing. No, it's washing it out. And then I got the ribbon for the bookmarks from Danielle. I don't think it wasn't, I still got plenty of it as well. It wasn't expensive. I also, I can't remember what, when I was ordering the week's peach cobbler, I started kitting up my first memorabilia, which is the dressmaker's daughter. So I just wanted enough things to top it up to the £30. I think I might have ordered a couple of DMCs, but they've gone straight into use. So I got these. Which is Primrose, Copper, Moss, Polar Ice, and Umbria, I think. So yeah, Joanita was talking about this. If you like, I mean, I am a meat eater, I'm not a vegetarian. But why would you stitch with silk if you know, that is your philosophy, if you know what I mean. You don't eat meat, you don't want to cause harm to animals, so why would you stitch with silk? And I think she makes a good point as well. But I watched that video after buying this. I've not got a huge amount of silk in my collection. am I slightly put off buying it in the future? A little bit. So yeah, potentially I will swap moving forwards just to a cotton blend if it calls for an over dye. So that is those. And then I've got a couple of Amazon purchases, one of which was a pre-order, and then 2 PDFs. So I bought the camper vans. I think this is by Heritage Stitchcraft. Oh, Heritage Textiles. So this was potentially one of the bookmarks I was going to do, and then abandoned it in favour of the Buzz Off EmmaXstitching one. Sorry, there's a lot of glare on there. It would make a perfect gift for somebody else, but I'm not sure if they read. I might have to do some fact finding out before Christmas. And then my son is stitching this, but I absolutely love it, so I decided to get one for myself. And it's the Great Wave British Museum DMC kit, and it turns into a bookmark. And it's on a, I can't remember if it's 16 count. Yeah, 16 count Ada band. But my 8-year-old was having a go at this, and he's about a quarter of the way down already. So, fantastic effort. And it's meant to be for 16 plus. So, he's done a little bit of cross stitch before. And then I pre-ordered the Maria Diaz Pokemon cross stitch book. I think this cover photo is actually in the latest either World of CrossStitching or CrossStitcher Magazine, but there are a lot more charts in here, lots of different Pokemon. I can show you the back as well. It's got Pikachu in quite a few different poses. I can't show you a lot of the images. So yeah, we've got Pikachu and Eevee. There's a section of the book where it just goes to pure charts. Dragonite. And then you've got Bulbasaur, Charmander and Squirtle together. A lot of these are stitched on Ada. Gengar, Jigglypuff, Magikarp, Psyduck, which I've actually put on a blue Ada rather than a white Ada. Slowpoke, which is one of the ones on the back. The one from the CrossStitcher Magazine. Pikachu and Scorbunny. Mewtwo's in there on a black Ada. Obviously the chart's on white. It didn't look too bad with the white background. Lugia. I just love the expression on this one. And I took that Pikachu and Cramorant. It's funny. Galarian, 2 versions. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Another charm, like a evolved version of the one before, in the same like oval hoop. That's different. This wasn't intended to be a flick through, but and then I think that's the final version of them. So yeah, I think we'll get into Pikachu, Raichu, Pichu. That's all the different versions of Pikachu. I'm sure my son will be able to tell me. He had a look at the book and wanted to keep it for himself. This is the other son, not the one doing the Great Wave. And you've got Squirtle, Wartle, Bulbasaur. These are all separate ones. So yeah, they're all like separates of each of the. Like you've got Cubone, Grookey, Subble. Yeah, just lots of different Pokemon. So if you've got a Pokemon fan, I definitely recommend this book. And she's a well-known cross-stitcher. She's designed for magazines for years. So yeah, and that was off Amazon. I pre-ordered it. You can get some kits as well that she's doing, so just be careful. It's the book, not the kit. So yeah, I'm not sure which one I'll be stitching first, or if he's going to take it off me and stitch it himself. It's great fun. And then definitely got enabled by Mad Morti and the Brom. I have seen it on Stitchy Bendy as well, but Night Spirit Studios. I chose 3 of Crafts, which is quite dark for me actually, but yeah, might keep it on the black, I'm not sure. Might change it up a little bit, but I've got to be careful because you've got white and silver in there. So I ordered that one. These are both off Etsy as part of Stitch for Sage. And I also ordered He Used My Scissors to Cut Paper. This little coffin up here. They've also included he, she and they. So all the pronouns, individual charts in the kit. So it's not like you've got to figure out the spacing or anything. It's literally, it's a full chart, the pronoun on. Absolutely love it. Again, not sure, I might invert it slightly. I'm not sure how I'm going to, but I do like it. So, and I've got 3 boys in the house. If they use my scissors to cut paper, I will not be happy. So yeah, that's all the haul. I think it was just Life left after that. Yeah, just on haul. I was watching Flosstuber, got completely enabled, went to Etsy, went and looked at the pattern, went, oh, it's 60% off, oh, it's great, I'll buy it. Got it. Realised it was a lot bigger than I thought it was. Fine. Came up with some ideas of how I wanted to stitch it, maybe on a 25 count over one. And then I was watching another Flosstuber who said that this particular company is just basically ripping off other people's designs, and they've had a name change since. I'm not going to call names, I can't remember what the new name is, but I won't be stitching that pattern unfortunately, which is a bit sad because I did like it. Did a reverse image search, can't find it. So whether it's the original design's been taken down or I don't know. So yeah, buyer beware. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. So paying £2.61 for a chart that is 6% off already, it probably should be ringing alarm bells. Granted, to be fair, it said they were in the Ukraine. I'm not sure if they are in the Ukraine, but still, even if you're in the Ukraine, it shouldn't enable you to take somebody else's work and get paid for it. So that's my rant over on that. So Life, yeah, I've done 2 scout camps, one of which I was doing work in the kitchen, so just helping out more than anything, and the second one was like a family camp. One was May, one was June. It was warm enough that we went into an outdoor pool. It was actually quite nice. So I thought it was going to be freezing cold, but it was actually nice. So I think it's the first time I've been to an outdoor pool in the UK. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Work's crazy, it's year end. If I didn't film today, it wasn't going to, like I say, it wasn't going to happen. And it is the last day of the school term today. My eldest finishes year 6, so that means he's moved on to high school next year. Yeah, it was a little bit sad at the Leavers Assembly, but hold it together, just about. But yeah, collecting from school today will be interesting, I think. I've still got the youngest son there, so it's not like I'm leaving the school completely currently. But yeah, on to new adventures. But yeah, I've also done a little bit of other crafts. I've started to put a memory box together for my mum. Just various different things. Like she always used to make these paper carnations with napkins and like metal wire. So I've made some of those. Not quite to my mum's standards. If I remember right, I think they were a bit too big for carnations. I made like a little memory book, just with like odd things that I remember about my mum, favourite memories, and it's quite strange once you sort of get going down that route. You remember lots, like more memories come flooding back, and I'm sure when I go to try and dig out some photos to put in there, more are going to come back. And then I did a test decoupage on a little box. I haven't got it with me, it's downstairs. So it was about sort of that big, and about 2 inches deep. Came out alright for a first attempt at decoupage, but the aim is to, I've got like a big, the wooden box is about that big, so about 30 or so centimetres wide by 15, 20 maybe. So I want to cover that, and then not sure about the inside yet. I've got the letters to spell out Mum on the top. So yeah, I've got the ideas are bubbling if I want to do it. I've also got that cross stitch piece I did on Mother's Day, part of the Jacob chart that I got with I Love Mum on it. Just odd little bits, so if I want to take a trip down memory lane, it's there. It has gone past the 30-year mark now. So yeah, trying not to let the memory slip is difficult. But I wanted to do that. I haven't got What Remains framed yet, although I have been struck by inspiration for it. So I'm not going to take it to professional framers. I'm going to frame it myself, but I need to order the frame. Unfortunately, I didn't get back to my hometown for the weekend that I wanted to, because I ended up with concussion from playing tug of war at a work teams event, which sounds completely embarrassing, but anyway, yeah, we won, but as the other end let go, I fell backwards and yeah, concussion. And I'm fine now, I'm pleased to report. But it was 48 hours of no drinking and no driving, so that was the weekend gone. So yes, sat stitching, feeling a little bit nauseous, and people generally asking, "Are you okay? You got any symptoms? I don't need to rush you to A&E or anything, you know." So yeah, and I'm rambling. I've got no idea how long this video is. I've got a feeling it's pretty long, so apologies. But like I say, you'll see me in September, and hopefully I'll have some more finishes to show you. I'd also like to finish that Mill Hill Halloween kit. It's not got that much to go on it. It's literally, I think, beading and maybe the odd cross stitch, and then that'll be done as well. So there is lots to go out, lots nearly finished, and then some projects that are just taking their time, which is fine by me, like the chatelaine. I mean, you know, ideally I'll probably get like Victorian charm back out. My goal this year is to touch every project unless it's UFO'd. And I think I've only got 2 projects left to pick up. One of which is the Christmas stocking, which every time I look at I go, I hate you. but it's so close to the end, I'm not abandoning it. And then, oh, I think there's a caterpillar cross stitch, one of the trees. I think it's a spring tree I've not picked up this year. I've got a feeling there might be one other, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm rambling and my phone seems to be buzzing, don't know why. And now I'm burping, which is not very polite, sorry. So I'm going to leave it there. If you like what you see, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care and enjoy the summer. Bye.